Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, working on the Harley Davidson again. We've worked on the front end and made the front end look quite nice. So today's video I'm going to be working on the rear end. We've already put the new seat on and I think that looks really nice. I don't like the indicators and how long the fender is and the tail license plate holder at the back there. So basically I want to do a fender chop. We're going to do integrated tail light. I'll show you the parts now. And then, yeah, just to try and neaten up this rear end a little bit. Let's get started. The way this seat works, it's got a metal bracket that comes back and mounts to there with a thumb screw. I don't like that because I want to shorten the fender. So I've just marked some, or put some masking tape down, and then I've put a screw in the last hole. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of grease on the tip of that screw and then clip the seat in, and the grease will go onto the masking tape and show me where I need to drill the hole through the fender to be able to screw from underneath. And then once I lift the seat off, it shows me where the hole must be. So all I got to do is measure and make sure that that is dead center, and then I can drill through. I've measured and we are exactly center of the fender, so I'm just going to wipe up the grease. I've made a mark with my permanent marker. Now I can drill through. Just in case the drill bit decides to wander, I'm just going to give it a detent so that the drill doesn't wander. Like this, you can see how long the tail is, or the rear mudguard or rear fender, whatever you want to call it. It is quite long. So the idea is to sort of chop it off before this, well, in between that and the seat, but closer towards there, and give it the same profile as that. Well, that's the idea. So I'm going to see how well we can do that. Process to start this. I'm going to have to take seat off. I'm going to loosen that bolt over there, that bolt over there. The cover goes over the shock, so I don't need to take the shock off. I need to take the indicators off, and then I think the mudguard will come loose. So I'll have to have a look as we go along. And then obviously the exact same thing this side, and then we can unbolt this from inside the mudguard and then see what we're working with. Now that I've got the mudguard off, we can cut it, get ready to cut it and see where we want to, or decide where we want to cut it and then cut it. And then we also got to cut the frame. This, I guess you could call it a subframe or main frame, but we're going to cut the frame off as well. I need to drill all these pop rivets out so I can get this plastic liner out of the metal mudguard. I've just used a tape measure to mark 170 mils, moved it over, marked 170 mils, moved it over, marked 170 mils. That's to make sure that I follow that line. And then for the side, I'm just going to cut it straight off, and we'll decide what profile we want to do once we've got the fender back on the bike and able to see. We'll get a better sort of view of what it's going to look like. So just need to mark that line and then I can go cut. Okay, I've marked my cut. Time to cut. There's no going back now. I'm going to cut there, and the same thing this side to just separate it, and then I can cut that piece. Okay, I've put it back together as a test fit to see. Obviously that's going to be more rounded. It will have the same profile as that, if you can see what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to cut off over there for our frame. But I think that actually looks quite nice. Shortens it up quite a bit. What I've done is I've stuck the original piece on top so that it can give me the shape, and then I'm going to grind that down to get the same profile. Not sure how well you can see in the camera, but the shape looks really, really good. That is the fender now chopped. I just got to shape these, but I need to cut the main frame, the main frame first. I think it actually looks quite nice. Okay, bear in mind I still got to cut off the frame. I think it looks quite nice. Now that I've got the fender to the shape that I like, I can cut these off. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to use some cardboard to cover up and protect everywhere where I'm going to cut, just to ensure that I don't go and damage anything. I'm basically just going to cut off straight there. Let me get my goggles. All I want to do now is just clean up here with a bit of thinners on a cloth to make sure that there's no oils, and then I can spray the primer that I'm going to be using. The primer that I'm using is the same as what I used on the calipers. It's the Rust-Oleum self-etching primer. The primer has now dried, so now I can apply the top coat. I'm going to use a gloss black. It's the same paint I used on the calipers, but doesn't really matter. It's long lasting and high quality paint. So. First coat of paint is on. Now we're just waiting for the paint to dry so I can do the second coat. Painting is done. Just to wait now for the paint to cure, which is 24 hours, and then I can reassemble the bike. The mudguard finally arrived back from powder coating. That was the piece I'd cut off, and that's bake painted, not powder coated. But I decided to get the mudguard powder coated. You can see how close it actually looks. I'm very, very impressed. The overall finish is awesome. I think it turned out very, very nice. So let's test fit it on the bike and see what we need to do to get the headlight, the integrated tail light mounted. Just to ensure that I don't scratch the finish while putting the mudguard in and out, I've just put some masking tape along the sides. There's the mudguard temporarily installed. Yes, that gap is huge. Got thinking of a plan for that, but there you can see the tail light once it will be glued into the mudguard, the inside of the mudguard. So I need to measure from the top of the tire to the bottom of the tail light over there to try and see what's our clearance, because contemplating getting dropped shocks for this bike. So I think that looks nice. I just need to work out length of cable to get from there to where it plugs in under the seat. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the tail out, place it in where I want to put it, that it's just sort of flush with the back here, or a little bit in, and then I'm gonna outline the back of the tail light. I'll show you now with a different POV. So what I've done is I've just held the tail light in and I've outlined it a little bit so I can see where, let me just do this better, so I can see where I need to roughen up the surface, because the plan is to bond the tail light with these plastic tabs into the fender, or onto the fender, there and there. The epoxy that I'm going to use is this Pratley Easy Bond. It says it bonds plastic to metal. It is a 2-part, so you mix a part A with a part B in equal parts, and I just bloody hope, I don't know if this is going to work, but I hope that it sticks this plastic to the inside over here. I really hope. Here you can see I've roughed up the 2 sections where I'm going to bond the tail light, and I'm just going to use some benzene and a cloth to clean there, and to clean the plastic to make sure that there's no oils or anything that can stop the bond, or that can hinder the bonding. The curing time, or the drying time, or handling time of this Easy Bond is 4.5 minutes. So I think I've got to do this quite quickly. And the curing time is 1.5 hours, so to full strength. So I do have to do this quite quickly and to make sure that I've got it perfect. I think I'm gonna mix pretty much most of it. I don't know how much I'm gonna need, but I don't want to be short, because there's no going back once it's done. Sorry, I am rushing a little bit, but it's just because I want to make sure I've got this right. Well, mind you, it's actually setting already quite quickly, so I think I'm actually just going to hold it. I'm just going to sit here and hold for the next couple minutes, waiting for it to cure, or at least bond. There you can see the epoxy has come through the holes. It's all around the tabs onto the mudguard, so I think we've got a good bond. I'm just holding it tight, trying to squeeze it down to, and waiting while it cures. My hand's going to get into a cramp probably, but I don't want to mess this up, so I'll rather sit and hold it. So I was thinking, how am I going to get the cable to stick here nice and neat? And I ran out to the shops quickly to go get some of these, and then I've just pulled a double-sided tape off the back. So I've got it like that. I'm going to scrape a little bit there, and sort of there-ish. And then I'm going to bond those again onto the fender as well. Okay, it's been about 50 odd minutes, and I think these are all dry, or at least dry enough for me to cable tie, and then I can reinstall on the bike. Tail light has been 2.5 hours, so that should be fully cured. I actually forgot, before I can put it back on the bike, I got to put this piece of plastic back in. This plastic goes between the wheel and the ABS pump, or the main frame of the bike. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you with a different POV now quickly. It's a bit difficult to do this one-handed, but I've got a pop rivet. Let me try to get this through here. I'm going to take the pop rivet, and then on the inside I'm going to stick a little washer like that, and then I'm going to pull the pop rivet so that it doesn't pull through the plastic. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4 this side, 5 this side, so 5 in total. That's nice and on. Now it's just to clean this up. I see I missed a little bit of epoxy on the back here, but it should clean off quite easily. Here's a view from the side. One thing I did anticipate was how awkward this is going to look, because the gap now is quite big, and these are the standard Harley Davidson shocks. So I actually ordered a pair of shocks from the UK. I'll put the video now. There we go. Just invoice, business card, comes from H&C Customs. H&C Customs in the UK. They do a couple aftermarket Harley Davidson parts. And these are some slammed shocks. If I remember correctly, this is a 10.5-inch shock. So we're probably going to drop the bike by about 3.5 inches. But yeah, I've been waiting for these. I'm so excited. Can't wait to install them. Jeff, the owner of H&C, really helped me out. I emailed H&C Customs asking them for a pair of the shocks, obviously to buy them, and they responded very quickly. The service was phenomenal, and I got really good price on them. So yeah, go have a look at their website. I'll leave a link below, and if you need a pair of shocks, go buy. Their product is very good and their service is awesome. Let's get them installed. Let's measure this out quickly. So before I change it, from top of wheel to mudguard, we are 135 mils. I hope the shocks drop us enough, but not too much that we touch the bottom of this light now. But that's the current look. Let's see with it installed. To do the shocks, I'm gonna have to jack up the back of the bike. So this is a bit difficult to do one man, but I'm gonna try. To loosen the shock, it's a T50 spline. So let's get this off. I still haven't managed to get a pair of Imperial spanners yet, so I'm still using a shifting spanner. There we go. Let me put this one aside. And then the new one has got a bushing for the top. You can see there, that just slides through, bushing for the bottom, and then we've got spacers. So got to put a spacer at the bottom. Sorry for the heavy breathing, it's just I'm dying of heat here. It's a very hot day today. Let's do that. We'll go through. Need to put the spacer, forgot that. There we go. And then the nut. Okay, I'll tighten that up now. And then when I am ready to drop the bike to fit both sides, I'll do that. So I'm going to leave the side wrapped. And in the meantime, I'm going to take the shock off the other side. Same thing this side. So I'm going to put the mounting bolt through. Spacer. Like that. And then one thing that I haven't mentioned yet, I don't think, is I'm putting the number plate holder on. I'm moving it from obviously the back to here. So tighten the side up. Okay, that's actually quite cool. Now we're ready to lower the bark to put this in. So let me grab another bushing here. I can put that over there, get this ready. I don't think I'm actually going to use a bushing at the top. Doesn't look like spacing will allow it. So let me start jacking down this bark. Getting close. Okay, that's enough for this one. No, it's not. Okay, that's that one done. Let's do the other side. Let's drop it all the way down onto its stand and see how it looks. There we go. That's under the weight of the bark. Yo, that is close. Let me put some weight on it. That looks so cool. And the plate holder as well. So I'm going to tighten this up so it doesn't flap as easily. But we're going to stick the plate on the side here. And yeah, I think it will look so much nicer than that big plate that was hanging down the back here. That looks so cool. That's with the new shocks on. Fender cut. And as it's been dropped. How nice does that look? Wow. I'm so happy with that. So as you can see, bark is all back together and looking really, really nice. I've done the custom shocks. We've done the fender cut and the tail light, the integrated tail light in the back. And I think that's neatened up the rear end quite a bit. Also did the license plate holder on the side, yeah. A lot smaller plate. I haven't put the plate on yet. I'll put that on right at the end. I think it's completely changed the profile of the bark, the rear profile. I think it looks really, really nice. I'm very, very happy. And the owner of the bark is actually also very, very happy. From the photos and that I've sent him and videos, he really loves it. There's one or two more things I want to do to the bark. One thing I need to do is I need to put new tires on. These tires are quite old. So in the next video I'm going to be doing that. Stick around and have a look at what we're putting on. I'm quite excited for the tires that we're actually putting on the bark. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. And as always, leave me your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about what we've done and how it looks. Some extra footage for you guys to see. Until the next video.